backlight, and it was a gorgeous day. And the scenes in the office, again, I kept with this fluid camera movements. We had a boat builder consultant to help us know how the process of building the boat was, and the stages, and to show Kevin what to do and how to do it, and so that we would actually believe he was a boat builder. It's an art, the process of boat building, and it was a really detailed instruction for us. Then, this was the first love scene we actually shot out of continuity in the movie, which was a telephone call. And again, I kept this slow dancing of the camera, this slow dolly shots. And at the same time, we had to convey these two separate worlds, this world of the water. We got lucky with the fog that day, which was perfect for this. And, when I was shooting Robin's side, which we shot first, I had Kevin in the newsroom in another little cubicle talking on the phone. And when we were shooting his side, I had her off the docks in another little room talking to him. I always feel that to get this kind of performances, you need the actors alive to feed to each other. Without it, everything just becomes mechanical and expected and predictable. And it was funny because this moment when she closes her eyes, the timer at Technicolor, the timers in the lab just watch the movie without sound. So when he was watching that scene, he said, is she an alcoholic or something? Because why does she fall asleep in the middle of a phone call? So I thought that was very funny. But again, even in this phone call where they're separate, I felt, wow, this is great chemistry. And there was some humor in the scene, and it was just these two characters not knowing for certain where the other stands. And then came the scene, this scene really, if you think about it, doesn't move the story forward. And we didn't know if it was important to the movie. And then when we saw it with an audience, it was one of the scenes where we got the most amazing humor. The bantering and kind of teasing of each other was great. And Paul Newman came again with another improvised line at the end of the scene that nobody expected. After I said cut, everybody was laughing, and we tried it again, and it never worked with that kind of spontaneity, and Kevin's reaction to it was just a jewel. It comes at the end of the scene, so I'll just let it play for you to watch.
How'd you get to be so mean? See you in a week. The hell you say? Not with your plane ticket sitting on the seat here. Good dog.
So when I said cut, Kevin came to me and said, "Who does he think he is?" and then we got a big laugh. And then it's he's coming for the first time inland to Chicago, and the kid is there.
I think he's here, Mom.
I felt it was important to create the uncomfortableness of the situation and at the same time keep the romance going on
Kind of nervous.
into the feelings.
I look great, though, right?
Okay.
Okay, is what I meant. Okay.
I tried to, in this moment, to keep the scenes without cutting too much, But then when we come to the dinner scene between the three of them, there's so much stuff happening that you just need to cover all those little moments. You know, the moment between Garrett and Teresa, and Garrett and the little boy Jason's comments.
I don't know.
You know, when you're shooting anamorphic, you need a lot of distance between your actors and the camera. And so it makes it harder to move the camera when you're in small sets like this one.
He's into this mayhem thing.
And so to capture these performances and the details of what they're doing, I felt the best way to do this is just to keep the camera static and to let the actors play the scene.
Yes, it was very sweet of you. Jason.
Excuse me.
You know, this was one of the scenes that I didn't know how well it was going to play. And then when we previewed the film, people just loved it. And that's when you're surprised, you know, you're gratified. With this scene, I felt that I wanted to create this feeling of this man being in this foreign space, not knowing very well what to do. He's not at home. So we went with this wider shot and let the scene played.
Shut up.
And then for when they're coming together in this more intimate moment, again, we went without any coverage. Just did a two-shot and start moving in on them as they're coming closer. And so the awkwardness starts melting away and the intimacy starts kicking in, and suddenly they're again together in this island, no matter where they are. But there's external circumstances that bring them a little bit apart, which is the sun, which keeps calling her. And so they have to wait. But at the same time, I felt, you know, he's out of his house, he's out of his past, of the things that remind him of his tortuous past. And so I told Kevin, just go lighter here. Feel it's like one of those moments that you just let go, that you're just happy. And suddenly you can be yourself with somebody that you don't know for very long. But that kind of feeling comfortable with each other is a big deal. I think that's one of the keys for me in terms of shooting a romance. You know, how you start from these extremes where there's an attraction, but there's two people that don't know each other and don't feel comfortable with each other, and little by little, the ice starts melting. And then this was a big scene of fish out of the water, which also was about her secret. And suddenly the tension builds without saying anything about it. Is he gonna find out that how she, you know, the letter she knew and she didn't tell him about it, and she's been keeping this secret from him? And I felt we need to play the tension, but we also need a lot of humor. This is a moment where humor can just explode. So I looked for all these details.
This is where I work. Hi.
And like this insert of this note that
It was nice meeting you.
brings the humor into the scene. And he's just unaware. So this was a scene where I had to shoot so many angles, so much coverage, you know, so many points of views. It's his point of view, it's her point of view, it's Charlie and Lena's, the colleagues. And so these two people are together, but at the same time, he is in a world where he feels very much not at ease.
I don't know what I was
was expecting. I didn't realize everybody's close.
Well, Teresa, this
And so
case
basically,
surprised me, but apparently it is
the scene is about her nervousness, her tension, and how to get out of this situation without
Hi, Jason.
without creating an explosion with him.
Jason is
And so she needs to
Garrett into town.
get him out of there
Oh, really?
as fast as possible before the bomb explodes.
Well, I know there's a lake around here somewhere.
Yeah, he
Well.
senses that.
Sensitive. If you get into any trouble,
Then the next scene that comes when Gary's sailing with Jason,
call.
that was a longer scene. We actually had a big part of the scene where they're sailing and he sees a woman on one of the boats. She's scrubbing the floors of the boat, the deck. And